Hey guys, Levy Freeman here. I just wanted to make a quick video in response to some claims someone was making that Russia is overpowered because they start with a 7-2 division template and no one else does, and that gives them a lot more artillery, and apparently divisions with artillery will beat divisions that don't have artillery. And if you've watched any of my videos before, you'll know you'll know my thoughts on that already, and on how that's kind of like a ridiculous claim, and artillery is not actually all that great. But I made this video here to do some testing to kind of like demonstrate that point. So when you're doing testing, Hungary is the next place to test with because Hungary is generic and doesn't get anything. It's the most unimportant country in Kaiserreich. It doesn't even have a focus tree, right? Despite being like half of a major power, still on generic focus tree. So Hungary's got nothing going on. They're unimportant, and that kind of makes them a good spot to test with. So right now we're on Austria, and I've used console commands here to give us some. Well, I had some army XP, but we didn't need to do anything because our template was already the one I wanted to use anyways. Here, I gave Hungary some army experience and give them a 7-2 template. But I fixed our stability to 50, so we have no organization penalty. We have no army command or anything like that. And I'll go through over here. You can kind of see that none of these national spirits affect our combat statistics over here. There is a stability modifier here, and stability does affect your organization, but I fixed that with console commands. So we've got that. This is our Austrian unit. This is a bog standard 18 width with support artillery, and it's got the the Skoda and the Kar M24, which are the 1934 starting artillery and infantry equipment 1. So this is the stat card for this unit. There's the template, stat card, no general, and we're on regular experience level and full entrenchment. So if you go over to Hungary, on the opposing side, and I've used console commands to declare war here. So again, we're regular status, max planning, and full entrenchment, and this, of course, has the 8 centimeter and the 24M, which are your starting infantry equipment and artillery. So there's your stat card, and I've given them the same starting template that the Russians get. So this is 7-2 with support recon, and you'll notice both units are full strength, full org, max planning, no generals, and the Hungarians again 50 stability, and none of these national spirits are going to affect their military performance. And they've got no military staff. So if the claim is true that divisions with artillery beat divisions that don't have artillery, then we should have no problem with this 7-2 pushing into this Austrian unit here. And this is a plain style that will be attacking, so there's no terrain penalties, just straight up. And we're going to send these guys in there and see what happens, right? Let's take a look at the, put that into 3-speed, take a look at the attack card here. So no terrain penalties, straight up fight. We're attacking into them, but you'll notice like our attack is not beating their defense, but sometimes their attack will beat our defense. And if you're able to get attacks that are unblocked, those attacks have a 4 times higher chance of doing damage. So they're 4 times more effective than a blocked attack. And as a result, the defending unit is able to claim that advantage a lot more, or a lot of the time. We're not able to do anything. We're just never able to beat their defense, but when they get a good tactic or it's not nighttime, they're able to come at us for a lot more than our defense is. So, I mean, that's again, that's kind of like what you would expect would happen, right? So we'll stop these guys over here. We're all green equipment again. I use console commands to give us all that stuff. Let's take a look at our combat losses. So we've lost more men than them and more equipment. And you got to remember, each piece of artillery, like if you look over here on the production tab, each piece of artillery is 7 times more expensive than a unit of infantry equipment. So this is actually like 49 units, right? 7 times 7 is 49, I think, if I remember my multiplication tables from grade school. Yeah, calculator says that's right. So like this is like, pretty bad ratio. And of course, when you're attacking, you also take attrition losses, but we don't really count that. Pretty bad ratio. Like we're definitely not killing more guys than we're losing, and we're not breaking more equipment than we're losing. So that attack was completely pointless for the most part. But let's, that could be a fluke, right? What do I know? Maybe I'm just a dumbass, and 7-2s are actually still a super good unit that's capable of pushing. Let's let the guys get back to their the normal status, and we'll try again. Alright, let's give her a go. What do you think? Think we'll be able to win this time? I don't know. It's flickering. You can do it, Hungary. You can do it. We believe in you, even if the developers don't. Doesn't look good though. And oh no. Nope. We were close that time, but no cigar. And what was our losses like? So basically, almost. We did a little bit better that time. We lost less. We did more. And you know the damage dice, they are rolls, so I mean it is a little bit random. But let's give her another go. Third time's the charm, right? Maybe this time we'll be able to do it. And yes, the unit is entrenched, but we're also attacking with max planning. So this is as fair as it gets for attacker versus defender. Check our losses again. No, not quite so hot this time. Took more casualties. We lost more stuff. We did do a decent amount of damage to them though. But no. So yeah, so like that's pretty much it, right? I'll pause this over here. Interesting. Pause this over here. So again, nothing. And this is our stat card for the 7-2. I'll show you the Russian one again. But this is the same stats as the Russian unit. Same equipment. The Russian unit's going to have lower organization because they're going to have like shitty stability probably. But same template. And then this is, you know, the usual template you get when you start with the 18 width. There's stat card. And Russia, their template is this. The same as Hungarian template we're using. So, you know, again, as you can see, the 7-2 does not beat even a 9-0, and like realistically, this isn't even a fair comparison because this is like an 18 width, and you know you would really have this for a 20 width, right? You'd have another unit even. You'd be even stronger for proper comparison. And the 7-2 also had the benefit of having a support company, and they still weren't able to win. So you make the claim that 7-2 is like going to be some god tier unit that's going to allow you to bully these 10-0 units. I mean, I think people might get that misconception when they're playing as like a miner and they have artillery and they have level 1 guns and they're beating up guys that have basic guns and they have like a tech advantage or maybe they have a general advantage and they're kind of like able to work around that, or they have air or something. Then they're like, oh yeah, 7-2s are great. But I mean, really, that's not the case. If you're winning 7-2 attacking into like a standard infantry unit, it's because you've got some other advantage, right? Like maybe you've got, you know, a really good general, and you've got thorough planner, and you've got some grand battle plan doctrines that increase your breakthrough enough to start blocking enough of the defender attacks that you can push. You might have that. You might have green air, and you're be able to bring their defense down low enough for you to start hitting over it a little bit. If you had like really high air superiority, you had CAS, then maybe that's how you're winning those fights. Or maybe you're just gangbanging them 4-on-1, right? But you have to have something. In a fair fight in open ground like this, you know, the 7-2 just, you know, no, it doesn't work, right? And if we did it the other way and had this unit attack into the 7-2, that's not going to work either, obviously, right? So, 7-2, you'll do more damage to the AI if the AI attacks you, but in terms of enabling you to be aggressive or being able to roll over these 10-0 units, this doesn't work out, right? Defender advantage for infantry, right? Whichever side is defending is going to win unless you've got some other way to overcome that. So again, no, not really. 7-2, I mean, they're not bad units, but you know, they take the whole extra string of research that you have to put into, right? And if your units are only 10-0, you don't have to care about artillery. You don't have to research any of this stuff. You can spend that research on, you know, air doctrines, or you could spend that on, you know, you could use that slot to get an ahead of time tank or something like that, right? You could do something that gets you more value than spending it on this artillery. And again, adding artillery doesn't let your unit be aggressive. So what's the point of buying artillery, right? If the purpose of a unit is to be a line holder, then a 10-0 will do the job just as good as a 7-2, right? And we just kind of see that over there. 7-2 can't push 10-0, 10-0 can't push 7-2, so why invest in artillery? And the only reason like you would want to consider a 7-2 maybe is like if you had manpower problems. The 7-2 does take less manpower, and you can look at some of my other videos and templates if you're interested in that. So if you've got tungsten lying around to make artillery, maybe you're skipping navy or you're skipping air, or you've got like a bunch of research bonuses for artillery and you can kind of do it cheaply, then okay, fine, whatever. Maybe it's okay to make 7-2 in that instance. You get to save the manpower if that's a problem for you. And you've got research slots that aren't going to be used for anything else with more value, and you've got tungsten, then yeah, sure, make 7-2. Doesn't matter. That's fine. It's absolutely fine to make 7-2 in that case. Otherwise, like, it's not really worth it to go and spend the research and import the tungsten to make 7-2s. I mean, they're not gonna start being able to attack or anything like that. There's still a bad offensive unit that's incapable of attacking, and so why do that? But in any case, I just wanted to kind of make that video. And if you're interested in doing tests like these, you can look up the console commands on the HOI 4 wiki. So what you do is you turn your AI off, and then you tag switch between the two countries. You give yourself some army experience, and you can give yourself some whatever equipment you want. You can look up the code lines for each different equipment type. There's some good articles out there that show how to do that. And then you use the allow diplo command to declare war on each other. And then you can run these tests if you're interested in seeing stuff. It's best to pick generics. Like if you want to go into Russia or Germany right now, like Germany is like an outlier because they start with Army Command, and they've got some national spirits that will affect their recovery rate, and they've got low stability, which hurt their organization. Same with Russia, they're going to have low stability. Or some of these other countries will have a national spirit that gives a modifier. So if you want to do like a straight up test, you just want to pick countries that are uninteresting, like Hungary, that don't get a whole lot of love and are relatively unimportant. That way you get like kind of like a baseline test, and also like places where there's lots of plains terrain too, so you can kind of, if you're doing fights like that, you don't want the terrain to be a factor. Obviously, if you're attacking into defensible terrain, it's going to be a lot worse for you. But in any case, I just wanted to make this quick video here to kind of like dispel the myth that 7-2s are actually like capable offensive units that are good for attacking. They aren't. Or to kind of put to rest the argument that Russia having 7-2s is overpowered. It's not. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say here. Levy Freeman signing out.